Hi everyone. So for those who may or may not know me, my name is Danielle, and I am one of the instructors for Maths Made Easy course for secondary school students. Yeah, it's for CSEC students. Yeah, so this video is going to be about how I telling you how I got a grade 1 at CXC without studying or finishing the paper. But here is a little pro tip for you that learning how to study effectively is not a destination, but it's a journey and something that you discover and not something that you just mainly use to get better grades because this can work not only in school and studying, but it can also work up be applied to life and business as well. All right, so here's a little disclaimer though. I got a grade 1 in English and not in math. However, I'm gonna make a separate video telling you exactly about the relationship between um, languages, including English, um, and maths, something that nobody talks about. Let's get right into the story. So in 2015, I was in fifth form at a particular secondary school. And that was the year where there weren't necessarily any SBAs for math or English, just mainly the sciences and all that. Yeah. So, but months before the exam, I had stumbled upon this novel that had a quite interesting plot. And at that time, I've come to like it. And I actually like read that video every single day, along with its series because it was quite a popular book at that time. Um, yeah, so then they were like series and fanfics following the main series. I'm sorry, the main novel. Yeah. So I read that book for more than 2 hours each and every day because it's like as I said, it was and I could tell you exactly how good the book was, right? So then I read it every single day. But of course, when exams came around, I had to stop reading it in order to study for other subjects. But what was interesting was that when the exam day came around, I was able to produce the same level of writing and that was in that book on the day of the exam without having to reproduce it before or write something very similar before. And the other interesting thing was in that the book had really, really, really good top-notch story writing. And I didn't know that at that time, I just kind of like I saw this novel, liked it, and I read it. And interestingly, it was so good and top notch that it instilled like something also like in me, such as like a curiosity and developing my a love again for like stories and all that. Right. So then I was so on the day of the exam, I was so engrossed in the story writing that um I didn't have like enough time to honestly like finish the reading comprehension part of the exam. But when many months later, when the results came in, I saw that I got a grade 1. Yeah, so the moral or the lesson here of the story is that consistency is going to be key for any single success story. And for parents and teachers and that are listening out there, it wasn't that I didn't want to study. It just so happened that what I did got me a grade a 1 with little to like no effort. Um, but also I also learned a lot later That what I did also matches back up with what cognitive neuroscience says, and it says that every time a repeated action meets a desire, the image of that activity is stored in your hippocampus, which is responsible for long-term memory. So what that means is that there is something that you like a lot or that you find to be interesting. And there is a particular thing that's honestly ignited on the inside of you. There is an emotion, a positive emotion, such as not necessarily a love, but interest. It could be interest as well. Yeah, but interest and curiosity. When that is fueled and you do that consistently, that very action or the very activity of that, you kind of become one with that very thing. So then it's almost as if it's like it acts as if it's a part of you and it actually is a part of you. So then that thing is then stored in your long-term memory and you don't have to necessarily have to have reproduced it before in order to have that level. Even though I got a very good grade, a grade one, um, I found that there were two things that I did not do well or at all. And those two things are strategy and time management. So before these two things, I would have also mentioned consistency. But to just give you these three lists of things, strategy is always going to be a number one. Strategy is just simply about having a game plan, how you're going to approach something and how you are going to excel at it and what you're going to do and use. Yeah. And then the second part of it is going to be consistency. And then the third part is going to be time management. And the strategy is going to be the most important one that you are going to have to do at the very beginning because that is the thing that takes a lot of time to produce, but it's going to save you a lot of time in the end. And then when you also have a strategy or game plan, then you are able to make adjustments along the way, rather than if you didn't have a game plan. So this would have helped me, all of these things would have helped me to honestly get better grades and not only in in English, but also in my other subjects because I think at that time I had to do like 13 subjects or something of the sort. It was a lot, yeah. And so having a game plan of how to tackle all of those would have helped me tremendously. But another thing and that you should take into consideration in the strategy is also not only having a game plan but understanding how the game is played because, and the reason why I say the game, is because it's very important to understand how CXC are the governing body for the regional exams operate and work and what they're looking for. Because even though I didn't get to finish the reading comprehension side of it, understanding that it's not just about reading and writing about what you've read, but it's about understanding what as I said before, examiners are looking for. Like that would have helped me in, as I said, my other subjects like French. Even it could have helped me again in the same mass, in any other like subject that I would have been doing at that time. I think that and that understanding that crucial part of it would have been life changing. And also game changing as well. I don't want to keep on saying game, but yeah, for a lack of a other alternative words, I'll just use that. All right, so one actionable thing that you can do right now is to honestly identify your strengths and your weaknesses. And again, like this can be applicable to both school and life and business. Yeah. But just identify and this yeah and this I can be like for parents a secondary school students like any single a one that's out there. But like in terms of studying and exam preparation, specifically, because this is what this video is all about, we are going to use somewhat the same method and that we used in English to use in math, but it's gonna look a bit different. And so like the same method is going to be used. However, again, it's going to look a bit different because each subject is kind of different, but still interconnected or interrelated. But the principle is going to be the same, never the less. And the principle um, are the keys, and that we've honestly used is going to be the same. And so you're still going to need a strategy, you're still going to need consistency, and you're still going to need time management. And also too, it's gonna feel as if you're not studying as well, because again, all you need is curiosity and interest. So once you identify your strengths, the other part is going to be a lot easier. Yeah. So for current students that are watching this on the platform, I would have placed some links that you can watch to help you pass CSEC maths guaranteed. Yes, and without having to know like everything that is included in these SEC syllabus. But you're going to have to watch a video of my to find out what it's about. Okay. And for those who are watching this on YouTube, if you're not yet signed up for Maths Made Easy, you can click on the link below to get access. So if you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. And you can also follow us on Facebook for more additional content. All right. So see you guys in the next video.